Hello, this is Stuart Knight, author of the books Marginalizing White Supremacy, Poetic Visions, A Steak Mister for a Sister, and my latest work, A Spirit the World Has Forgotten. Now today I'm going to talk about a concept, what I like to call bandwagon racism. You see, bandwagon racism is when you as a black person are in the work environment and you may be the only black person there or one of a few, and all or the majority of the white folks in the workplace band together to make your day more miserable and your job more harder, either through osmosis or simply because maybe a certain white person might join in simply because they don't want to be left out of the group. They don't want to be treated as an outsider if they don't join in. You see, bandwagon racism happens often in the workplace against black people, especially when many a times, black people, they come into environments, and then some white folks are actually friendly with you. And then in turn, black people, thinking that sometimes you should form bonds and friendships in the workplace, actually begin to conversate with these people as if they are actually someone who is out, looking out for their mutual benefit. But most of the time that's not the case. Most of the time they might be applying for information to give, information from you to give to the individual who actually is outright white supremacist, who does not like you because you're not white, to use against you, and to making things more difficult for you, to either frustrate you and make you quit, or to make you get angry so that they have some kind of reason to fire you and get you out of there and maybe get whether they brothers and sisters or cousins hired. You see, bandwagon racism happens quite often. And in an earlier video, I had stated that, I had written the book Marginalizing White Supremacy based off some of my experiences as being a heavy equipment operator. Now, one of those experiences was one time I had been working with this foreman for a couple years. We had done several jobs together. He knew I was quite capable of doing the work. But once a young white kid had been hired, who had only been an operator for about 6 months, got into his ear and started talking at what I like to call N-word shit, He influenced, this foreman into the position that I didn't know what I was doing. So eventually that foreman demoted me down to what was called, from a lead position as a scraper, and promoted the white kid up to the lead. But oftentimes, the white kid showing his, inability to do the job because he was inexperienced, showing his inexperience, he would mess up jobs and couldn't do jobs, and then that foreman would look to me to try to fix him, and I'd be like, no, that's your man's, that's who you rode with, that's what you get. When it comes to white folks on the job practicing white supremacy, there's no way I'm going to try to do anything to try to make them think that, hey, I'm trying to win some of their favor. No, it should be equity in the workplace, and if it's not, I'm not playing. Another instance was another time where I worked with this foreman for a couple years. And the company we worked for went up under, and he moved on to another company, and it was an upstart company. And he called me up, and he said, you want to come work for us? I was like, yeah, I'll come over there and work for you, It's a brand new fledgling company, I can use my skills and my experience, Hopefully that company makes some money to grow, and it'll be all good, So, and I really trusted this foreman, Like I said, this is before I really understood the concept of what bandwagon racism is. So, I go to work here at this company, and sure enough, again, there was another young white kid, got to talking that N-word stuff to him, and pretty soon this foreman was giving me just crap jobs to do, and then giving me jobs to do with inadequate equipment, or, no grade stakes, and I had to do jobs, and he would put people with me that didn't know what they was doing everything, to make my job harder. He even got to the point to where he asked me one day, could you just not do, the job so well, in a sense that, I had to lower my standards of excellence just to make him feel happy. And when I told him, I said, man, that's racist. You know, he looked at me, oh, no, that's not racist. I mean, come on. Would you actually ask that of one of your other white employees to lower their standards of excellence so you feel good about yourself? You see, bandwagon racism is an aspect of white privilege that is not really talked about. You know, just the fact that, you know, white folks have the privilege, you know, that they can band together against you simply because you're not white and not be punished for it, you know, is something that is that has a very pernicious effect upon black people. Because in most instances, we don't know which way or which direction, you know, the racism is coming from. You know, rather than thinking it could be the entire group, we're most of the time focused on just one individual. And most of the times, that's not the case. That's why you definitely, when you're in the workplace and you're black and you're one of a few and things doesn't seem to be going right or fair, you know, from both ends of the spectrum or all ends of the spectrum, don't just think that it's just one white person who's practicing racism. Chances are it's the entire group. Like I said, my name is Stuart Knight, author of the books Marginalizing White Supremacy, Poetic Visions, A Steep Mister for a Sister, and my latest work, A Spirit the World Has Forgotten. Thank you very much. Peace.